Welcome back, everyone, to Rob's Daily Classics and Drivers. I found this beautiful 1966 Corvair convertible. First pick for 2026. It's $11,500 in Houston, Texas. I did see this car a couple months ago. It looks like the price is lowered on this car. An attractive second-generation Corvair. Let's go check this car out. I found this car just a little while ago on Craigslist. Yeah, it's a nice car. It's a 1966 Corvair convertible. It's a regular Monza. They had a base model, which was the base 500 that you can only get in a coupe and sedan. And then the uptick from that was to go to the Monza, which gave you the convertible. This is the second year of the second generation Coke bottle design, so to speak, that ran from 65 to 1969. And 66 was an interesting year because it just was the last year of the Corsa, which was the more high-performance version, as well as the turbocharger. And then after that, basically sales were really taking hit in 65 and 66 with Ralph Nader's book, Unsafe at Any Speed. The irony is in 1965, when the second gen came out with a new fully independent rear suspension, and they did away with the swing axle that made the car famous for, lifting in the rear and possibly overcorrecting itself. So I think Ralph Nader is still alive. He's probably in his 90s by now, and not a big fan, but that book really devastated this car line so much that by 1966, sales are really going south. And if not for the production and tooling of the car, they stretched this car out to 1969. By that time, not many was sold. I think for the whole run of the first and second generation Corvair, they only sold about 1.8 million units, so it wasn't really that great. But this car here, 66, has really beautiful styling. What's really nice with Corvairs in general, you don't need power steering, you don't need power brakes. The silhouette is very, very low, has a very flat floor. The interior is super spacious. And what's really nice with these Corvairs on the convertible, it's a manual top too. This one, they say it has a white top as well. There are two engines they could have chosen, I believe, in this car. The first engine is a 95 horsepower engine, and the second one is an uptick from 110. It's hard to tell what engine this car has. So I would just say this is probably a base car and just take it from there. It's not a turbo and it's not a Corsa, even though it has that cove, that silver cove in the back. It's probably the person, when he restored the car, he painted that back there. So, and the reason we can tell is that the carburetor, there's only two carburetors on the car, so it's definitely not a high performance one. But it's really pretty. It's an automatic transmission. It's a good car to take you from point A to point B. Have some fun with car shows. When you think about it, cars of this generation in the 60s, muscle cars and all, they're up there past the $40,000 mark. But here you can find something for, maybe you can buy this car for $10,000 or $9,500 because he says he's negotiable. And you can have some fun with this car, and it's fully restored. So assuming it's not covered with Bondo, which I don't believe it is, you can have a lot of fun with this car. I'm not sure if that dashboard's correct being black, but it might have been red from the factory. But other than that, it's a fully finished car. To get the car finished like this with paint and interior and a top, assuming the top is in nice condition, you're way past $10,000 if you had to do this on your own. And the engine bay looks really nicely well presented. Electronic ignition, two carburetors, easy to work on. It doesn't look like there's any rust on the car. The car is in Texas. Maybe it spent its life in Texas. Not big on the white wall tires with the Krager rims and all. Probably would just put the regular, tires that came with the car just to keep it original looking. But it is a very stylish, good-looking car. And, it's one of these cars worth, a good-looking coupe. If it was a Corsair, you're going to be past the $18,000 range and things like that, but still a bargain. And I think anything under $9,000 on this car with a convertible top, especially because it's manual and it's easy to operate and have some fun with, I don't think you can go wrong with this car, assuming, again, there's no Bondo in the car and no quick restoration type process here. That car was well done. It looks good in the photos. The paint may be a little flat, even though he's got a shine going on. The side of the car looks like the paint may have a little flat surfaceness to it. Something that, fades away. Maybe it was a lacquer paint job back in the day and things like that. We don't know. But yeah, good looking car, automatic transmission, nothing super special. The seats don't match the door panels, but hey, A for effort, at least it's nice and new and it looks very nice, So, so what is this car worth? It's up to you. If you live out in Texas, you don't have to truck this car on transportation. Transportation from Texas back to here on Northeast can cost you $2,000 these days. So that's a big consideration when you're buying cars now. If you do it yourself, you probably save some money, but not too big of a deal of a car, just a very nice, good-looking car to dive into, get to know, and that's what collecting cars like these are all about. Not spending too much money, but having a lot of fun. And most people will think you're reckless because it's a Corvair and they flip over, but you can correct them and say, no, this does not have the swing axle. This has independent rear suspension, and this car is perfectly safe, as safe as cars were back in the 1960s. So, again, this is Rob. Thanks very much for joining me on Daily Classics and Drivers. Please subscribe to this channel. If you have friends that love cars, please pass this channel along to them as well, and that's how we grow. It's going to be a great year. We're going to find a lot of nice cars, and thanks for being with us, and we're looking forward to posting some more cars this weekend. Have a great night, and thanks for joining us.